Yeah, I think we talked about it after, right, is that and it's no different. In every game, there's plays that you have to make to win the game. And there were some opportunities for us to make them, and we didn't. And so what we have to do is try to just continue to stay confident in the fact that we can make them when those plays arise, because you don't know which one it is, and you don't know which play call it is. And as a play caller, you sit there and you go over every call that you made, and you do it 7 times. I did it last night, but you got to put it behind you, and you just grow from it. And we've got to continue to stay confident in our ability to make those plays, and we've got to make them this week.
Was there a common theme to any of those?
A common theme. No, I mean, there was obviously, everybody knows there was a couple of missed tackles and there was a couple of misfits. And the missed tackles, cost you. I know Coach had talked about on Monday, when there's a scramble drill and a ball's thrown, it's one of those deals you just got to try to position yourself on the receiver that you can make the tackle. You can't, on that long one, you dive for a ball and you miss it, it can result in a big play like it did. Proud of the defense in terms of how they rose up and forced a field goal after that. But there was other opportunities that 2nd and long, and they run the shuffle and we got a chance to make it 3rd and extra long, and it just slips out of our hands. And but no, and I think we need to continue to get back. There were times in the game that maybe the swarming nature that we played with early drifted in, and obviously some of the tempo may have had to do with that, but some of that too stems with momentum and confidence, and you play faster when you've got a little bit of swagger to your step, and so we need to continue to get that back.
How many of those throws down the field were off-schedule plays like the one you mentioned diving for, and what are the kind of lessons that you carry over with the scrambling quarterback, like potentially on the table for Saturday?
Yeah, the 2 of them, the one we had mentioned, and then the one right before half on the sideline, and then the other deep one was not sort of an off schedule. That was a pocket throw that we down the sideline. Yeah, but no, I think throughout the off season, throughout fall camp, throughout the year, we understand how to plaster. No different than we understand how to take on blocks and how to tackle, and we can do tackling drills and all that. And it's in the moment that you have to, execute the technique, and we'll continue to, teach and rep and talk and get it done.
Is there anything you can take away personally from having at least 2 games going up against Wright? And he had a couple of touchdown drives in 21, and then obviously played well last year. Is there anything you can take from those going into this game at all?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can take that. What kind of player he is. What kind of competitor he is. He, like you'd mentioned, he can make some of those. He can elude the pocket, make some plays with his legs. You got to be mindful of him. Sort of moving the pocket, getting out, and then making a play down the field. But then he can make some plays in the pocket. And so, we really good player. Obviously, we have some experience with him. And so, there's certain things you can sort of, take away from previous, games that we played against him.
Brad, we've seen Octavius make some big plays, get in the backfield, some TFLs and sacks. How big has he been, and how important is it for the rest of the front 7 to do the same, get more plays in the backfield?
Yeah, no, he's played well. They're like anything else, and he'd be the first to admit there are some plays in there too that he'd like to have back, and I think every one of us in the defense, there's plays that we'd like to take back, but yeah, creative negative plays are huge when you have an opportunity to make them. He's been doing a nice job, of making those plays. He had a couple early in the season that he had an opportunity to and just couldn't quite finish. And he's starting to finish those plays here recently, which obviously anytime you can make those help the defense. And so proud of his progression throughout the season. And we need to continue to play well sort of up front. Obviously, wasn't to our standard last week in terms of, how we want to handle the run game. And, some of the misfits are a little bit uncharacteristic, of what we tend to do. And so we'll get those fixed.
Brad, 2 years ago, you all were in the same spot where you had a really good first half. You lost 3 in a row. You finished really strong. What do you remember about what got that turned around, even after a Tennessee game that year where you all gave up a bunch of points?
Yeah, I mean, it's about getting up, putting one foot in front of the other, staying confident, and playing ball. It's not just going to happen. It just doesn't, you don't just say, okay, you're going to jump to a couple more wins. It starts with one. You don't get 2 wins before you get 1, right? You don't get 2 3 and outs before you get the first 3 and out. And so we just have to get back to playing it drive by drive. Don't think about anything else but that drive. And that was, a message that we had sort of talked about at halftime. And I was proud of the guys. Did we play as well as we wanted? No. But when you talk about out of every game, what kind of positives can you take? They came out of the locker room and had the 3 and out. Then on the very next drive, you've got them back on 2nd and 20. They hit that long pass. They go down. They end up, but then they buckle down. And they force a field goal. Then it's another essentially 3 and out, 4th and 1. They get us, with the flinch at the front, and then we go and force another punt 3 plays later. So it doesn't really, so essentially, like, they came out of halftime and played really good, strong football, minus the one explosive that sort of got out on us, and you'd like to keep him in the pocket so it doesn't even get to that. So there are positives to build on, and that's what we have to continue to do, drive by drive, and then quarter by quarter, right, half by half, right, and then hopefully it turns into a full game, and then we can talk about this next week to see if we can make one game into 2. But it starts with one drive.
Brad, you lost Jalen Kaga early, and it appears to me that look like Bryant is starting to step up a little bit. Is anybody else that you think you can call on to help that back end?
So Ty stepped up.
Ty stepped up.
Yep, and then you're saying, is there anybody else?
Yeah, that you're looking at that may step up to help the back end.
No, we'll just continue sort of with the, with our rotation and, see sort of who pops. Obviously, we have, young men on the roster that, we're continuing to try to develop. But no, we're in an okay spot, just, in that regard. But again, proud of how Ty played. You talk about a true freshman coming in for his first start and doing what he did. And so now it's about backing those games, and stacking games for him. And so, but I think he can pull a lot of confidence from that game. I think his teammates have always trusted him. But, hey, anytime you can, put that kind of performance out there, right, it just continues to build trust and confidence that, they've got no worries that he's going to be where he needs to be and do what he needs to do.
I know you're obviously busy watching Mississippi State, their offense, but that defense is a little weird. Is there ever a time where you kind of, I don't want to say help the offense out, but like, do they ever pull you in to kind of, here's what are they doing here sort of deal?
Yeah, I think both sides do. You always, if there's a question about it, a scheme or, how would you fit this, or what do you think's being trying to get accomplished here, you always sort of lean on the other side of the ball to help you with that. We do the same thing. Hey, how would you block this particular, front or look? And again, the way our offense will block it or the way we would defend it may not be the exact way. You'll try to give, sort of your 2 cents, but everybody has their own nuances. So it may not be the exact answer or right answer. So you have to be a little bit careful there. But yeah, that's the beauty of having a good relationship, on a staff, that you feel comfortable to go on either side, and then try to provide, that the other side looks in practice, when you go some good on good.
How much different is Mississippi State's offensive scheme from what Coach Leach ran there?
Significantly different, yeah.
Is it much more balanced, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a definitely more balanced offense, and even Coach Leach sort of the last year, they had, Rogers had started running the ball more and all, but just the style of the offense is different, and the style of run game and the style of pass game, is different in that regard. And then obviously depending on, which quarterback's in the game, it can vary even more. So, yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Last couple.
The coach has been very complimentary about the way you played Saturday. How much do you think you're coming in early and getting that spring under your belt help prepare you for something like the other night?
Yeah, I think it helped a lot. Me being here since the spring, since January, it just allowed me just to get more comfortable with the playbook and, just be able to play faster. Going into camp, I wasn't asking as many questions. Of course, I was asking still questions, but I wasn't asking as many questions just because I've been here and it was my second time around.
What do you think you learned from your first start?
I learned a lot, especially with Tennessee, the tempo that they go at. That was big. First drive, it kind of got to me just a little bit, and then after that, I was cooling. But another thing is, it's really just it's fun out there. Before I wasn't getting too much playing time, so it's I'm out there now, so don't take it for granted. Play every down like it's your last.
A lot of young guys might wilt or have trouble in that moment the first time. It doesn't seem like that's your personality. Has that been something you've always been good at, thriving in those situations?
Yes, sir. When I told my mom, we was talking about it a little bit, and she was a little worried. She asked me was I worried, and I was like, no, ma'am. I've been playing football since I was 5, so I just look at it just come out there and just play the game that I play every day.
Playing at home is a little different than playing on the road. So what do you anticipate your first road game where you're getting a lot of calls?
Fun, honestly. I like traveling. I'm from Lexington. I don't get to travel too much because of football. So, just being able to get away a little bit, I just hope that it's a fun experience and, we're able to leave there with a win.
Obviously, last 3 games tough for the defense. What's the mood of the guys right now? As a unit, what's your all's mood going into next week?
I just feel like, we just got to get the little chip or just burden off of our shoulders. Just be able to go in, just play fast, have fun. I feel like the fun aspect, since we've been losing, it's been lacking a little bit. And I just feel like if we just get back to, just having fun and just playing the game we all love, then we're going to be fine.
Did you feel pressure when, the injuries were piling up at your position a little bit? Did you feel like I've got to step up for this team?
No, sir, not really, not necessarily. I do remember a conversation me and Coach Bufano had. I think it was after the, I want to say Akron game, and he had told me, he was like, stay ready, because you never know what happens in this game. And, he was right. Things happen.
Sorry to interrupt.
You're
What are
good.
some things that you feel like you've gotten better at from those early reps where you only got a few to get in the full game? How do you feel like you've improved?
I feel like alignment, just being able to, see where the balls are going now, better eyes and stuff like that. Just things that you just get from just having reps out there. You just get thrown in there just for a few plays. You might not get, everything, but when you're actually out there for a lot of plays, you start to see things better and, you react better.
There's a tendency when you get on a little bit of a losing skid for people to look at the season as a whole. And, there's 4 games left. We got to do this. Coach White just told us that it's got to be one play, one drive at a time, one game. Is that kind of the focus going down there?
Yes, sir. Definitely. We're going to play every single play. Like I said, like it's our last, and we're just going to focus on one play at a time. And then, hopefully that, comes out with a dub. come out with a dub with it.
Anything else?
Is there anything in particular that Mississippi State's offense does that you guys have looked at that, you know, you guys have to make sure you're ready for?
No, sir, not really. And that's all. I feel like we're keeping the game plan, cool, calm, and collected. And so we can just go out there, have fun, and just, play fast.
When are you going to get the pick?
Man, it's coming. It's coming, trust. It's coming. It's coming.
JJ is one of the older guys, one of the leaders. How do you make sure you kind of keep spirits up to bust out of the 3-game losing streak?
Man, just enjoying it. With me, just make sure everybody just enjoying it, smiling, having fun. It's a business, but still, football's fun for us. So we just gotta enjoy it, have fun. We either win or lose, regardless. We still gonna be our brothers, regardless. So just enjoy it.
How did you get this turned around 2 years ago when you all are in the same spot? You lost 3 in a row and you finished so strong.
Yeah, we had more and more leaders then, though. We had JP, we had DeAndre Square. I'm a leader, but on defense, I really can't do it by myself. We young, so let's say like that. We had more leaders then.
You talked about having fun. I know the coaches have really harped on playing selfless football. Have you seen the team kind of grow closer together over the last few
Yeah,
weeks?
most definitely. Plays against Tennessee, the sideline, we was getting everybody on the sideline jump, have juice, just be happy for your brothers whenever they make the play. So just play together for real.
Y'all might be playing against a quarterback you've seen before that's pretty good at run around. What's the kind of key to containing a quarterback like that?
Going back to the Vanderbilt game last year, just trying to figure out what we did wrong and just basically just being disciplined, just not trying to go after, do your jobs basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody just do our jobs, you'll be fine.
JJ, we've seen Octavius make some plays in the backfield, some TFLs and sacks. How's the rest of the front seven, trying to get on that too, trying to get more pressure on the quarterbacks, some sacks and TFLs?
Man, every day we just work on it. We've been working on it all season, just being active, trying to get to the quarterback, But then again, just some plays are certain, like, I don't know, it's just like we just got to be ready. Some people haven't really been ready, so just being consistent with everything we do now.
When you get into a point in the season where you hit a little rough patch and a skid, there's a tendency to kind of look at the season as a whole. There's only 4 games left, that kind of stuff. How important is it to kind of
Finish
not
strong.
get looking ahead and just be on the task this week?
Yeah, just take it day by one, I told them the defense just finish strong. Whatever happens, happens. Just do your job at the end of the day and play fast and play physical. Everything else is going to take place. So just playing fast, playing physical, just taking it day by day, game by game.
Brad told us, trying to get the swagger back. How do you do that?
In practice today, just smiling. I started just cracking jokes out there. Just everybody just be so uptight, like so serious sometimes. Like it's fun at the end of the day. Football should be fun. We should be blessed to be able to put on cleats and shoulder pads. So just have fun with it.
You talked about this team being younger. Ty Bryant last week had stepped up, had a really big game. Moving forward with these, how big is it going to be for these younger guys to step up and make an impact?
Huge. They should know by now. We don't have a lot of depth on defense, so everybody next man up. And Ty is a great example for that right now. Just all the young guys should look at Ty, and Ty disciplined. He's ready and he's hungry.
JJ, how do you feel about your individual season at this point?
Man, it's been like a roller coaster, but I'm enjoying it. Ain't gonna lie, I really been enjoying this last season, bonding with my teammates, being more a leader, more vocal, just actually learning the game, learning from Coach White, the schemes, how the offense play, just really enjoying it for real. Sad it's gotta go so fast.